So one of the things that Maya ships with is a header called MSimple, and we'll look at the code in a minute. And what MSimple does is it generates a macro that allows us to basically expand all the code we need to write a very, very simple command. So in this example, what we're going to do is use this declare simple command macro, which passes in the name of the command, who wrote it, and a Maya version that's going to be needed. And what it does is it expands all of this into a series of code and classes. And then all we need to do is implement a single function, which is called doIt, which is what's called every time we run the command. So in the code that we downloaded, so I've got it open in CLion now. What I've got here is my Hello Maya example here. Let's go full screen so we can see it a bit better. So I've got my Hello Maya example here. So I've included MSimple. I've got MIOStream, which is the Maya input-output stream functionalities which we can use. And then I've got my call to my macro here, declare simple command. Now you can see there when I hover over it, you can see what's actually happening here. And you can see that it's declaring class name, public npx command. So we're inheriting from npx command, and then we're implementing a pile of different bits of code here. It's most really easier to switch to msimple.h just to see what's going on here. So you can see all of this code will get expanded and generated automatically for us. And what this is doing is it's managing the initialization of the plugin, the uninitialization of the plugin, the creation of the plugin, and everything else. We will look later at how we can write our own more complex commands and do more, but a lot of the time we can create quite a lot just using this very, very simple piece of code. So we literally go declare simple command. When this is loaded, there'll be a command called Hello Maya. This is the vendor, so us, the NCCA. This is the Maya version that we can put in there. Sometimes you can just put in all as well. This isn't checked, it's just sort of written there for when you load it. And then this is the core. So Hello Maya is the class that's being generated. So we're generating a new function called doIt, and this is the core of a Maya command. We have a series of functions, doIt, redo it, is undoable, and a few other bits and pieces that we can implement, which we'll look in more detail when we look at the core class rather than this simple one. And this will get called every time we do the command. It's passed in an argument list, which again, when you run Maya and you try and run a command, so for example, if I go sphere -r10 and run that, that's generated a new sphere with a radius of 10. As you can see there, that R10 is an argument list that's been passed into the command to process it, and we typically have to generate those arguments ourselves and parse that, and again we'll look at that in a later lecture. And then I'm doing some printing out. So if we were running this on Linux, this would be in the shell that you ran Maya from, and this should come out. On my Mac, we won't see anything from this. And then we've got mglobal, and mglobal will allow us to send a few messages. So mglobal has a series of functions in here. So we've got display info, so that will display something as an info, display as a warning, and display as an error. The display error should appear red in the bottom bar as well. So we've got these three levels of messaging that we can do within mglobal. It is possible to display other things as well. You'll notice it's just taking a literal string here as well. So this is just coming out. So info is standard printing. Warning will prefix it with a warning, and that will prefix it with an error. I'm also just going to show you the CMake lists command here. So this is a very, very minimal CMake project. So I'm targeting 320 because it's the version I'm using at present on all my machines. So this is the name of the project. Hello Maya. This will also go through. So the first thing we're going to do is include $M dev kit location. So this is the environment variable that we've set. It is possible to set this on the command line as well. So you can do -D dev kit location equals and do it that way. But this is querying it from the environment variable for ease. CMake, plugin entry CMake. So this is looking for that series of CMake functions that ship with the dev kit, which have all the correct platform specific things for building. This is my project name, Hello Maya. This is my source files. So in this case, it's just hellomaya.cpp. This is the libraries we want to use. Now, this plugin entry allows us to choose the library. So in this case, we're going to link against OpenMaya and Foundation, which are the two core Maya libraries that are needed for what we're doing here. And then build plugin is a CMake function that chooses all the correct elements that we need for doing everything. So it's really simple. Normally, we'll put in a list of our CMakes for all the projects will look like this. We'll put in a list of source files that we want for building our plugin here, and then any libraries that we're linking against. And for the most part, OpenMaya is the core. When we start doing, for example, anything with a timeline, we'll need OpenMaya anim. If we're doing anything with other things, we'll need different plugins. So I'll show this as and when we need them. And then this final bit here is just a custom command that's run after build to copy the plugin that we've just built to that plugins folder to make it easier for me to do everything. So quickly build this. You can see it's just built very easily there. I've not made any changes to anything there, so it just runs. And if we go to Maya now, I've already loaded the plugin previously, but if I try to unload this now, it's quite happy because it's a new scene and nothing there. Sometimes loading and reloading plugins can be problematic with Maya. It doesn't like you to do it, but as this command's not creating any geometry or doing anything, it's quite happy in this case. And we've got two choices. We can do let's just zoom that so people can see it a bit better. What I'm going to do, I'm going to close that down, and I'm going to do this so you can see where everything happens. So in here, I can either just call Hello Maya. Now you can tell that it's working because it's turned to the correct. Oops, scroll in a bit. You can see that it's sort of syntax highlighted and gone italic. So it knows that it's a command, it's got loaded. If I was doing that, you can see it's not. So it sort of knows that it's there and it's a command. Now, if I run this now, you can see, well, the first thing is the error. It's turned red here. So this is where you get the error bar. Obviously, all of this is also printed in here. And you can see the info is a normal comment, a warning is prefixed with warning, error is prefixed with error, and obviously you get the different things in here. So it makes life easier for, you know, printing messaging, debug statements and things like that you can do it. In Python, it's in the CMDS module. You used to have to do import maya.cmds as cmds and then do cmds.hello Maya. But now CMDS seems to be the default import anyway on most implementations, so it's all fine. So we can run it either in Mel or Python when we do it. At its simplest level, anything that you want to do with a command, you can write in that simple command and just implement it. Commands are simple, easy to sort of generate. Obviously, they rely quite a lot on the internals of Maya. So a lot of time what we'll be doing is calling other Maya commands and other things like that. But we can do a lot of work with just writing these very simple commands, and we can customize quite a lot of things just, you know, using that simple command. In the next example, we're going to extend on this and write a full plugin, not using the MSimple, but using a using the command proxy to generate something that's just going to scatter some random spheres as an example of what we can do.